My name's Alana Thornton. I'm a master's student studying biodiversity and conservation, and my project is on faunal diversity on Gair wood. So I've done some invertebrate surveys using pitfall traps, some butterfly surveys and bird surveys, and I'm looking at the diversity both before and after tree planting. They're kind of flying over the tree lines. I'm not going to worry about them. This year I've observed skylarks, some swifts, some house sparrows, lots of red kites, lots of buzzards, lots of wood pigeons, crows, that kind of thing. And then last year it was quite similar, but there was a higher number of crows and pigeons and things like that. In terms of butterflies, even today we've seen loads of meadow brown butterflies. Last week and the week before it was small coppers, so I think there must have just been a recent brood of small coppers on site. In terms of invertebrates, it's pretty similar to how it was last year. So we've got a lot of carabid beetles, lots of slugs, lots of spiders, particularly wolf spiders. I'll be really interested to see how the woodland changes over time compared to the baseline research that's been collected at the beginning. So in terms of like the diversity of invertebrates, that's likely to change from like a grassland community through to a woodland community, but it'll be interesting to see how long that transition takes. Similarly to birds and butterflies, certain species are more associated with woodlands and certain species are more associated with grasslands. So it'll be interesting to see like if there is like a shifting point over the next like 10 to 20 years. I think it's important to have baseline research from the beginning, because in 10, 20 years time, when we're collecting like future research, it would be interesting to see like the vast differences between like then and now. Obviously, tree cover in this country isn't very much. We've only got like 13% tree cover in this country, and only like 7% of it is actually like in a good ecological condition, good quality. Most of it's conifer plantations. So I think it's really important that the University of Leeds are planting a native woodland in quite an urban area. It'll increase tree cover, but it'll also provide another habitat for the biodiversity that's in the area. It'll help with carbon sequestration, hopefully help with cooling and soil quality and filtering runoff and things like that. My master's research will provide really important faunal baseline data for continued research into the future. It should also be able to inform the future management practices. If we find a particular species on here, that means that certain management practices need to be implemented over the next few years. I think that would be great to have been a part of that. I also think it's really important that we are planting trees, and there's been so much research design going into the layout of the woodland, as opposed to just putting any tree anywhere. I think it's been really thought out, and there's like different diversity plots and different densities, so it'd be really interesting to see how the invertebrates change across different planting regimes, and how the fauna of the site changes as it transitions into a woodland. In September, I start a PhD, which is going to be looking at finding and creating refuge from climate change in northern Britain, and it'll involve quite a lot of similar things, such as bird butterfly surveys, like that kind of thing. So I feel like not having this experience, I wouldn't have been able to successfully apply and get that PhD that starts later in the year. So yeah, it's been a life-changing experience for me doing this research project, and I'm really excited to see how the woodland and the research continues into the future.